Yeah. I talk to the gods and children of God and angels. We always miss the truckers. We always miss the truckers. We always want to cry and cry and cry and go back to our spot with the truckers. But it would be so exciting if we could find a spot like everywhere with like the biggest, best, beautiful truckers. And it would be so nice if we could travel and like visit truckers everywhere and miss all the truckers when we don't go there very often. Like, that would be a miracle blessing. But yeah, tomorrow's not going to be that hot. So I get to go to the normal spot tomorrow. A husband still has stress about me bleeding so much and all my blood problems. And he really doesn't like when like my flesh or something horrifying, or when my liquid spiritual death kind of falls out too. It gives him a lot of stress. And I try to tell him, like, this is the good part at the end where, like, my death is falling apart, but it means I'm free and nobody's trying to hold on to my death or my existence anymore. But, like, he's a good husband. He's a really good man, a really good person, and a really good husband. So he doesn't have a good time with that very good. So he wants one more day at a room because he just feels a lot of stress. So I thought, well, that's fine. Because I get the excitement of visiting, you know, our typical happy place truckers. You know, it's not just me that visits the truckers. Every God works on the trucker car. Every God works on the trucker's health and their soul and stuff. So, like, when I park near the truckers, gods and angels and children of God from heavens and stuff, we all sit on top of the trucks of the truckers, and we sit and fix like their wheels, their brakes, their engines, their, like I said, their health, their eyesight, their brains. Like, we just sit and like reminisce, or we create like a spiritual fire to be toasty and happy, and when it's cold, because we're normally there when it's cool. We can't. When it gets 70, it's just too warm. You know, but we sit on top of the trucker trucks and we just sit and fix truckers and their trucks. And then we visit their companies. We visit the people in their companies. Like, we run around and have so much fun. So, like, we literally get depressed and miss the truckers. But it's too hot tonight, so like tomorrow night's gonna be a pretty miracle moment that we can go back, head back. But so I'm just gonna get a room because husband just wants a room to relax and not have to stress out. And to know he doesn't need to stress because I'm just fine. So let's cross my fingers that something doesn't spew out, or my sleep doesn't scream some death scary scream or something and scare poor husband, so he can just sleep next to me and know like he feels happy because everybody is safer and happier. The other husband traveled from far that night to come near me and make sure I was okay. This is a different husband that could not get out here, but he heard that I was okay, so he felt better. But like, he just wants to not stress, and he's gonna leave a little bit more on his tip. And then he said, I think you can afford like $10, so you can leave $10 for your tip. And I was like, oh, thanks. And he reminded me to get my cash back when I pick up some food. And I think that's everything that we were going over and reminiscing about. And we were talking about how it would be nice to miss truckers and companies in every city, in every area. You know, of course. It's the blessing of God's powers and what we can do while we're here. The good part of Jesus's life was his powers and what he could do while he was here. What we have is our powers, and the most we could do while we're here, and it's the greatest blessing. It's God's greatest existence, is the gift of being a blessing as a God to the people that are worthy. So, I mean, we're trying. I know that I really, really, really love to go to Lake Paris, and everybody wants me to start going to other lakes. I really love the original Mr. Lake Paris. I love this Lake Paris. I know that I always go to Whitewater. I love the original Mr. Whitewater. And I love this Mr. Whitewater. And I know that, like, you guys kind of want me to branch out. And I gotta let go of my baby blankets in life. Because it's not fair to everybody else. You have no idea what it feels like to watch a bunch of gods have a dream that the wise man, Native American, and the white man, smart businessman, could come together and rule God's country, just to watch the white man kill the Native American. So, like, I do have a baby blanket. Mr. Lake Paris was a good man who wanted to love Native Americans and work with them and be a brotherhood and live in the dream that God's had, instead of creating the nightmare everybody else created by promising the gods anything and then ending up on this land and hurting everybody, which is not what the white man promised before he got to the land, of course. That was never going to be in history book. And then, like, Mr. Whitewater, he really loved to treat Native Americans like his babies and take care of them. And it's really painful when you still remember what it's like to watch people slice somebody's hair off down to their scalp because they had to learn to be so scary because the white man wouldn't stop being so horrifying. They still didn't win because the white man had no right to have a gun and fight against somebody who didn't. Life has tragedy. Gods sadly cry forever sometimes because pain doesn't go away. Not with gods. We watch our dead children every day. And we know what they go through all the time. But that's no excuse, because I cry over certain birthdays that were really beautiful or emotional their whole life, when they lived to be 100, and the emotional birthday was when they were 3, and I will still cry. And I still cry when they're 100 and had a birthday before they went to heaven. Okay, gods are just very emotional. And dead gods are worse. The most emotional. You know, but I understand, children of God, that we gotta be big. You know, so I'm gonna try to find places everywhere so I could be a help and miracle for everybody everywhere. And hopefully we find places. So you guys have given me a lot of ideas about lakes, and I'm going to keep trying all the lakes once I have a tent. I don't have a tent yet, but because they made me throw the tent away. Once I get a tent and the basic things again, but I have to get tents that fold way down small because the other one was big and clumpy. It didn't go back in its original bag, and that was the problem because it takes up, space, and gotta go to work and can't take up much space. So I will work on the tent thing and go into these lakes that you guys mentioned. And then, like, after a few days, so I'm going to go and get a room because of Hubby Wubby, and that one's Hubby Wubby. And then I'm going to go to the rest stop for a while, that, like, because I like being near my truckers and, like, get the emotionals out. And then after that, we'll be back on the grind to find the ideal dream truck stop for until it's fun to wake up at many other truck stops and be happy that, like, we're making everybody's day and helping put some kind of miracle fun coffee in their coffee. And we're gonna keep going, children of God, until we are the beautiful miracle, the best beautiful miracles we could be. And I'll keep you guys posted. And you guys can always message and message and message, and you guys can always harass and harass and harass. I just can't answer until I can answer, but, like, I don't care if you guys message all the time. It's fine. So I'll keep you guys posted. Love you guys.